Mr. Summers, you can.
All right. Ms. Hall, can you see the gentleman in the blue shirt, button-down shirt?
Yes, I can.
Okay, excellent. All right, I need to swear you in, Ms. Hall. If you'll raise your right hand, please. If you'll raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hall, can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
I'm having trouble hearing.
Ms. Hall, can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record? Can you hear Ms. Hall? Can you hear me? Ms. Hall, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay. Ms. Hall, can you please introduce yourself to the jury?
I'm sorry. Ask me that again.
Can you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Rita Hall. I'm an Advanced Registered Nurse Practitioner at the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay.
Ms. Hall, when did you become a nurse practitioner with the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay?
I became a nurse practitioner in 1974 and started working with the Crisis Center in 1987.
Did you have any special training or courses that you took to become an employee as a registered nurse with the Crisis Center?
Yes, I have a master's degree in nursing from the University of South Florida, and I have received over 100 hours of training in the specialty of forensic examination.
And what do you mean by forensic examination?
Being able to do the evidence gathering exams on alleged rape victims.
And how many exams did you conduct on sexual assault victims while you worked at the Crisis Center?
Well over 1,000.
Did you have any special licenses for being a nurse practitioner that conducted sexual assault exams?
Yes, at the time I was certified as what's called a SANE, Sexual Assault Nurse Examiner, in both adult and pediatrics.
And did you maintain throughout your employment with the Crisis Center the continuing education that you needed for that certificate or licensing?
Yes.
The state will tender the witness.
Does Mr. Summers have any questions at this time of the witness regarding her qualifications in this area?
No, I do not, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Ms. Hall, can you please explain the process of a person being seen at the Crisis Center for a sexual assault exam?
One of the nurse practitioners is on call, and we receive a call asking for an exam. Either the client can call us or law enforcement. Then we have guidelines, and we'll go through the guidelines with the person asking for the exam, and if it meets the criteria, then we have them come to the center where we do the exam.
When you speak to law enforcement, are you provided basic details as to the reason for the exam being needed?
I'm still having a little trouble hearing you.
When you speak to law enforcement, are you given some basic information as to the reason for the exam being needed?
Yes, because it needs to be within the last 120 hours, and we'll verify that that's the case, and then they also usually tell us a little bit about what to expect with the victim.
So I want to direct your attention to March 13th of 2017. Did you conduct an exam on Alisa Summers?
Yes.
Did you meet with her at the crisis center?
Yes, I did.
When you first came into contact with her at the crisis center, did you obtain information from her as to what happened?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of obtaining that information from her?
Because I need to know where to gather the evidence, and so from the history she gives me, that tells me what I'm going to do in the exam.
And ultimately, were you then able to move on to actually conducting the exam with her after obtaining that information?
Yes.
So what did you do after getting the information from her?
Okay, what we do when the patient arrives, we take her back into a quiet room. There's a counselor and myself, and then I ask her the basic questions. Like I do a little bit of medical information so I know if she has any health issues and allergies on medication. And then I go into the events of what happened because I need to know, did she know this person? How did they get together? What happened while they were together? And how did she get away?
When you are conducting the actual physical exam of the patient, specifically Miss Summers, are you then collecting any evidence?
Yes, I collect the evidence right as I go along. I have her get undressed, put on a gown, and sit on an exam table, and I do a head-to-toe exam. And also, while she's getting undressed, I take the clothes that she's wearing and package them up for evidence.
When you collect the evidence as you're going from head to toe, what type of evidence are you collecting?
I'm collecting any place where there might be something that came from the other person, such as saliva, blood, semen, anything like that.
How are you collecting that?
I take swabs and I have sterile water that I put on them, and then I do 2 with the sterile water and 2 with a dry swab and put them in little envelopes, and these then go to law enforcement who takes them to the crime lab.
Are those are those envelopes labeled?
Yes.
Labeled for the area that you took the swab from?
Yes, it says exactly where I took it and that I used the sterile water, and then as I take the evidence, I have a little paper that it goes into, and then it goes into a bigger envelope, and I label the envelopes before I start the exam so that I can seal them as soon as possible. And it has the patient's ID, it has the date of the exam, the area that I took the evidence from, and my initials and the date.
In addition to, well, let me ask you this, Ms. Hall, did you collect swabs of Ms. Summers on March 13th of 2017?
Yes.
And did you collect them in the way that you've just described as using the sterile swabs, 2 of them with sterile water and then 2 of them without?
Yes.
Did you also take photographs?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Did you also take photographs?
Yes, correct.
Ms. Hall, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are the ones that I collected.
I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as states K1 through 17. Did you have a chance to look at these prior to today?
Okay. I took photographs and I take a picture. I make a slip that shows the identification, and I take a picture of that. And then I take a picture of the client with that same ID tag.
Looking at State's Exhibit K, did you see this before testifying today?
Yes, that's the evidence envelope that I collected.
Is it in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected the swabs and then placed them in this envelope?
Sorry,
Is it in the same or substantially same condition, the kit in State's Exhibit 12, of when you collected the swabs and then placed those swabs in this bigger envelope?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time the state moves into evidence, State's Exhibit K.
Any objection to K?
No objection.
K will be admitted.
And Judge, may I publish?
Yes.
I'm going to try and do it from here, but loudly. So,
Whatever you need to do.
Ms. Hall, you indicated that some of the envelopes are labeled. And in this case, I'm showing you one of the envelopes and it's labeled vaginal swabs.
Some of the envelopes are pre-labeled and they're just a standard that we take. And then when it's something specific, such as if I'm looking for saliva, then that's when I write on the envelope.
Okay, specifically regarding the vaginal swabs that you collected, are those swabs that you collect up inside the vagina of the patient?
Yes, I take an external swab first, 4 swabs, 2 wet, 2 dry, put those into one envelope. Those are called the perineal. And then I put a speculum in and I look into the vagina and I take swabs from the cervical area, and then I also take swabs from the cervix itself, and they're in 2 separate envelopes. It says vaginal and cervical.
Do you also collect swabs of the external genitalia?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of that?
The idea is that if the person was up walking around and there was ejaculation, that some of the fluids are on the outside, and so we collect from the outside.
Now, when you're collecting the history from the patient prior to collecting these swabs, do you ask if the patient has either showered, taken a bath, used the restroom since the last offense?
Yes.
And
I do
what-
that when I'm doing the interview.
And what is the purpose of asking those questions?
I'm sorry, ask that again, please.
What is the purpose of asking those questions?
Because we need to know, did she wash off afterwards? Like, did she take a shower and really scrub her body good? Because then you lose the evidence.
So when you do a sexual assault exam, what physical findings are you looking for?
I'm looking for any bruising, anything that looks irregular, and I still take swabs even if everything looks normal.
If a patient describes to you a sexual assault having taken place and you don't observe any findings, does that automatically mean that some sexual activity did not happen?
No, it just means that for some reason that there are no actual injuries that you can see.
And is the fact that there may not be actual injuries you see to the patient's genitalia or vagina I'm sorry, I'll strike that question, Ms. Hall. Is it possible for there to not be any injuries?
Yes, in about half of the cases, there are no injuries that we see at all.
Now, in the examination of Ms. Summers, you noted that there was some redness to her external genitalia. Can you describe what that means?
I have to refer to my pictures.
Oh, and I apologize. It was redness to the labia, and if referring to your photographs would help refresh your memory regarding that, please do so. But once you're done looking at them, please look up back at the camera and then tell us what the significance is.
Okay. I do not see a diagram of the vaginal area, so at this time I can't comment on that unless you have the colposcope pictures.
Okay. In addition to the sexual assault exam, did you do what's called a strangulation assessment?
Yes, because she said that she had something around her neck, and so we assess for any injuries there, and that to make sure that she is breathing okay and swallowing, and that there's no injuries that are life-threatening.
And after that assessment was done, did you refer Ms. Summers to seek additional medical treatment as a result of the strangulation assessment?
Okay, according to the pictures, there were marks on her neck that would document that something was on her neck with enough pressure to make changes in the skin.
And is that why you referred her to seek additional medical treatment?
Yes, because sometimes the swelling in the throat and neck don't show up right away, and so we want to make sure that she does a follow-up so that if she has any trouble, she'll be able to get medical attention.
May I have a moment, Judge?
Yes.
Who's going to pass the witness?
Mr. Summers, cross-examination.
Yes, thank you.
You're going to have to be louder. You can come up in this area here.
Okay. Thank you.
Judge,
Oh,
do you want
but
to
you
make
know-
sure she has her volume up?
Her volume, I'll ask her to turn her volume up, but he actually has to be on the camera.
If you mute your whole
I
computer,
will mute my whole computer.
I can put my volume on my computer and we won't have feedback. I'm sorry, it was good. Summer's just trying to help you out. All right, you just need to talk into here. She'll be able to see you and hear you.
Okay.
Okay?
Good afternoon, Miss Hall.
Good afternoon.
You can hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Hall. Let me ask you, does any of your evaluation allow you to draw any conclusions from the exams that you make?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part of that.
Does any of your evaluation of a victim allow you to draw any conclusions from the exam?
From what I saw, I could say that the history that she gave me, the findings such as the redness, were consistent with that history she gave me. Now, I was not there, so I can't say. All I can say that it was consistent.
And what redness are you referring to?
Just because there was redness, it was small, thin red line, and there are pictures documenting that, and that would be indication that something thin, like a rope or a scarf or something, had put pressure there.
And Ms. Hall, if you look at your diagram, is this diagram?
Yes, I have it.
Can you tell me if there is a indication of a red line on which side of the neck?
Okay, the back upper picture shows that red line. And also, there
Wait,
is a
wait.
photograph of the same thing.
We'll wait for that noise.
I'm sorry, I can't reach the phone from where I am.
It's okay. It's a nice ringtone.
It should shut off in another second or so.
That's what I was hoping.
There, okay.
All right.
But in the diagram, it's the upper right diagram of the back view.
Yes.
I have the line, the red line that was there.
Yes.
And then also, on the bottom half of the page, the lower right, you also can see that red line. And then I also took photographs of the same thing.
Yes, and can you tell me what side of the neck that is on?
That would be her left,
Okay. Was there any on
and
the?
then the back.
Is there any on the right side?
No.
No. Okay. And and just so I'm clear, Ms. Hall, the marks that you've indicated on this diagram do not draw any conclusions about what happened to the victim, correct?
That's my documentation of what happened.
It's your documentation of the marks, but it doesn't. You can't draw conclusions on how those marks got there, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Yes. Ms. Hall, you indicated that as far as the bruising goes and the strangulation assessment you conducted, the reason you referred Ms. Summers for additional medical treatment is due to the possibility that bruises don't always appear immediately after the incident, right?
That's correct.
So even though you didn't notice any bruising on the right side of her neck when you examined her on March 13th of 2017, there was always the possibility that there could be bruising on the right side of her neck.
That's correct, yes.
I have nothing
It just-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You can continue, ma'am. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
Sometimes it takes 24 hours or later for these marks to show up.
The bruising?
Such as, because it only showed up on the one side, it could have been the next day we would have seen marks on the other side of the neck.
Thank you. Nothing further from the state.
All right. May this witness be released by the state
Yes, she is released.
and released by the defense?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You may be released as a witness at this time.
I am released? Okay, thank you.
You may be released. She couldn't hear me.